Hey beautiful people, what is up and welcome back to my channel. I'm Jamila and I love all things beauty. I love all things makeup, I love all things skincare, and I especially love sharing my tips and tricks for how to find high-end and luxury beauty products at bargain prices. If that sounds like something you're interested in, I would absolutely love if you would consider subscribing and joining the fam. Hey. Alright, you guys already saw today I am going to be testing out the brand new Clionadh Dragonfruit palette. So let's just dive right in. As I always do with my first impressions videos, I'm going to give you guys some live swatches so you can see how the shades swatch on my arm. But one difference, instead of me going in with an eye look that I come up with, I actually decided that I'm going to create the signature Dragonfruit eye. So let's start with this review. So the Clionadh Dragonfruit palette is actually a collab palette. This is one that they did with the creator Emily Violet Marie. And you'll see on the palette itself, it has the Dragonfruit, and it also has Clionadh X Emily, who is the creator that they are working with. Emily's details are also included in the back. So it is in this sort of fuchsia pink packaging. In addition to the details about the creator, it also says on the packaging that it has a 24-month shelf life, and this is handmade in Toronto. And it is vegan and cruelty free. So the palette retails for $59.61 US. And with shipping, I ended up spending $73.12. So at the end of the day, this was a very, very expensive palette. When you open up the palette, this is what it looks like. It's absolutely stunning. And before we dive into swatches and other details, I do want to let you all know that this is part of an entire collection. So the Dragonfruit collection includes the palette. You do get 2 highlighters. There are 3 nail polishes, a brush set, and then a Dragonfruit pouch. I opted to just purchase the palette because 1, shipping was already close to $15, and 2, at the end of the day, I didn't need everything. Clionadh did offer a couple of bundles. However, the bundles were really 2 options. You could either buy the entire collection or you can buy the entire collection minus the nail polishes, which I think was done because you cannot ship those nail polishes to certain countries, which I would have preferred other smaller bundles because I did not want the entire collection, even without the nail polishes. I didn't need that Dragonfruit pouch. I wasn't interested in purchasing the brush set. I did want to get the highlighters as well. So I wish there was a bundle with just the palette and the highlighters for people who didn't want all of the other stuff and were just like, I just want the palette and I want the highlighters. So because I couldn't get that and I was just like, you know what, at this point, let me just get the palette. I don't need any highlighters. Just keep it together. Which I'm not mad at because at the end of this was really expensive. $75 for this palette. I'm like, you know what? Just bite your tongue and buy it. So with the palette, you also got a couple of little paper things. So it does have a little Clionadh Cosmetics logo that has some of the information on there. You do get a postcard with just a thank you note from Emily, which I thought was nice. And what I really appreciated is that you got this little card with details about the different formulas and the shadows that are included. And then the last thing that was included is a lookbook, if you will. So it's kind of very Too Faced reminiscent. So it gives you detailed instructions on how to create 2 looks using this palette, which I thought was cool. So with the palette, there are actually 13 eyeshadows and 6 formulas. So you get 2 sparkle shadow formulas, you get 2 duochromes, 4 velvet satin shades, 3 metallic shades, and 2 multichromes. All right, so let's dive into these swatches. So here we have all of these shades. You can see that it's a very pink heavy palette. You do get 2 greens and 2 purples, but the rest are for the most part pinky or peachy shades. Now, rather than go row by row, I'm actually going to go formula by formula. So I'm going to follow the sheet here and do the swatches formula by formula. So first up, I'm going to start with the Sparkle Shadow formula. This says it's packed with sparkle and shimmer. This formula offers an intense and dimensional finish. These shades double as unique topper shades, best used with a tacky base. So the 2 sparkle shadows are Effervescent and Infusion. So Effervescent and Infusion. And these shadows are overall very soft and very, very crumbly. So here we have the 2 sparkle shadow formulas. Effervescent infusion. Next, I'm going to swatch the two duochrome shades, which are Hylo Serious and Fruit Fizz. So we have Hylo Serious and Fruit Fizz. Here we have the two shades. Hylo Serious, Fruit Fizz. I think Fruit Fizz has a stronger duochrome shift than Hylo Serious. Next, I'm going to swatch the 4 Velvet Satin shades. And they are Strawberry Pear, Sweetened, Kata K. That is pronounced so wrong, and Prickly. So, oh, I should have read this, but the duochrome formula is a classic Clionadh formula full of color shifts and shine. These shadows are perfect for one and done eye looks. The Velvet Satin formula, it says that this is a multi-purpose formula that features smooth, saturated color that can be applied like a matte or a metallic. Blend them with a fluffy brush for a low sheen effect, or pack them on to build up the reflect. These versatile shadows are effortless, easy to use, and great for layering with other shades. So they are Strawberry Pear, Sweetened, this Kata whatever shade, and Prickly. These are the 4 satin shades. Strawberry Pear, Sweetened, that green shade that I can't pronounce, and Prickly. Well, that's very pretty. Next, we have 3 metallic shades. It says these high pigment formula features soft, buttery textures that make for easy application. Apply them with your preferred application method for metallic eyeshadows. So the 3 shades are Refresh, Dragonfly, and Exotic. So Refresh, Dragonfly, and Exotic. Here are the 3 metallic shades. Refresh, Exotic, Dragonfly. And lastly, there are 2 multi-chrome formulas. It says our vibrant multi-chrome features a rich, colorful base with a strong multi-dimensional color shift. Our glitter type iridescent multi-chrome features a translucent base with a strong color shifting reflect. This shade has a sparkly finish with a texture that melts into the skin. Both are best applied with a tacky base. So there are 2 types of multi-chromes. So Bubbles is the glitter type iridescent multi-chrome, and Dragontini is the vibrant multi-chrome. So let's start with Bubbles, which is the shade here. That's what that looks like. And this is the glitter type. It's a very strong blue shift there, and it's a very, very icy shade. If you're my complexion, I don't know. Like, it's super duper icy. It'd be a great inner corner highlight. I don't know. And then the last multi-chrome is Dragontini, which is one of their vibrant multi-chromes. That's what that looks like. And all of these shades are so soft and a little crumbly. Okay. It's Dragontini. And I can see a gold, pink, blue, purple shift in that one. That's definitely not picking up on camera. Okay, so this is the entire Dragonfruit palette swatched on my arm. I am a medium deep complexion for reference. I wear Fenty 410 in case you needed to know that as well. So yeah. All right, so now let's switch into me creating the signature Dragonfruit eye look, which is this look right here. And then I'll come back at the end and give you guys my final thoughts on this palette. Okay, so as you guys saw in the intro, I'm going to be attempting the signature, what is it called? Dragonfruit look? Yes, the signature Dragonfruit look. This is what my eyes are supposed to look like. There are step-by-step instructions. So let's just see if I can recreate this. mad skeptical, but we gonna try. So they do have recommended brushes for this. I'm assuming this is from the Dragonfruit brush set, which I do not have. So I'm just gonna use what I have. Some of it's gonna be reference brushes, some of it's gonna be from other collections, but I'm gonna do my best. So the first step says to apply Dragontini to the inner third of the lid. So this is Dragontini. We're gonna take this shade. I'm gonna go in with my reference number 28, and that goes into the inner third of the lid. And also for reference, I have not swatched these shades yet, so this is literally as first impressions as it can get. I'm just going directly in. Repeating that on this eye. The shade is very soft and I'm getting a little bit of fallout. And there's no real base to this color, if you can tell. Then it says to apply Sweetened over the center of the lid, blending it into Dragontini. So this is the shade Sweetened. So I'm gonna pick this up with a Morphe A29 brush, and that goes into the center of the lid. Then I'm gonna go back into the brush that has Dragontini, and I'm gonna start blending that into the shade Sweetened to get rid of this harsh line. It's blending nicely. Okay, so far so good. Clearly I can follow instructions. Okay, then we're going on to step number 2. So those two steps were the first, those two applications were part of the first step. Step number 2 says to apply prickly on the outer third of the lid, pulling the shape up and out to a point. Okay, I'm gonna go in with this Jessup brush. I don't know what the number is, but basically it's supposed to try and create a wing with the shade Prickly, which is the deep purple shade here. I'm trying to see if I can get really precise with this. If not, I'll just go in with like some concealer and clean it up. I'm trying to start by creating the point and then working my way back. I'm getting a little bit of fallout. I'm switching to the reference number 13, which is slightly bigger, to fill in this part of the eye here. I think that that smaller brush is really nice for helping to get that precise point, but I'd be blending all day. Again, using the smaller brush to get the point, then going back in with the bigger reference brush to fill it in. Then the second step in part number 2 is to apply Hyalocerious over Sweetened, blending the edges into Prickly and Dragontini. This is the shade Hyalocerious. I'm gonna go back in with the brush that I applied Sweetened with, flip it over to the other side, picking up a little bit of Hyalocerious, and it says to apply over Sweetened and then blend it into Prickly, which is the purple, and into Dragontini, which is the first shade. Again, going back with the brush from Dragontini, I'm going to make sure that everything is nicely blended in the inner third here. I feel like this is a little bit more harsh than I want it to be. And then taking the brush that has Prickly, which is the purple shade, also gonna do a little bit of blending on the edges here to make sure that that is a little bit more seamless. Step number 3, then we are going to pat bubbles over the center of the lid and apply effervescent to the inner corner. So bubbles, this is the shade right here. I'm gonna pick that up with my finger. Oh, wow, I think I may have picked up too much. And it says to tap that over the center of the lid. Just tapping off a little bit of this because I feel like it's too much.
You better on it. I need you to back it up. Yeah, back it up. Ain't no time to play.
I also kind of want to dust away some of that bubble shade. I feel like it's too much. I'm just gonna take a clean brush and see if I can diffuse some of that a little.
You know what it is. Look at your feelings. Show me you want it.
Okay, not bad. And the second part of that step was to apply Effervescent to the inner corner. So Effervescent is the second like super large shade here. So I'm gonna pick that up with a tiny brush and use that as an inner corner highlight.
Back it up.
This is so odd because typically I like to do my inner corner highlight as like the very last step. So very different. And I apologize if you can hear how squeaky this palette is. It is super duper squeaky. Then it says to apply infusion to the inner third of the lower lash line. So infusion is the light purple here. Going in with a small pencil brush. I'm gonna apply that to the inner third of the lower lash line.
Talking crazy when you get fed. Foolish.
I have so much fallout on my face. Like, do not try to do your base first with this palette, y'all. I went a little too far down, so I'm gonna have to clean that up, but we'll come back to that. Then cleaning off that brush, it says to apply Sweetened to the center of the lower lash line. Going in with Sweetened. And I'm wearing a black sweater and I immediately regret it because it is covered in eyeshadow. Okay, so this is what the eyes are looking like right now. This is step 3. What do y'all think? Are we close? All right, let's keep going. 2 more steps. Then step 4 says to apply Catacia, one of the green shades, from the tear duct over the crease to the center of the lid. Create a wing from the outer edge of the lash line, creating negative space between prickly. Okay, Catacia, I'm pronouncing that very wrong, is this green shade here. And we're going to apply that here and here. Now we're supposed to be creating the illusion of a wing. So before we do that, I'm actually gonna take my makeup wipe and clean up some of this fallout that I have on my face because it's just too much. And I'm gonna use that same wipe to clean up the wing here so that when I put the green shade, it's gonna be nice and crisp. So going into Catacia, that is that first green. I'm taking another pencil brush and I'm gonna start by applying into the inner part of the eye towards the center. Show me you want it. You've been a fan. Ain't no more talking. Need you to back it up. Back it up. Know you been feeling. Body been calling. You know this good shit. You better on it. Okay, and then the second step says to take that same green and apply it outwards in a wing, but create negative space between the wing and prickly, which is the purple shade. I am doing my best, you guys. If you know what I'm saying, this pussy is healing. When I get you deep and I know that you feel me, but you know what it is. It's crazy, you're talking crazy. And then it says to apply Dragonfly over that other green shade. So Dragonfly is the second green shade. So I'm gonna use the same pencil brush and use that to apply it directly over where I put the green. So again, for starting here. in the inner part of the eye. Yeah, I guess it does look a little bit brighter. And now over the wing. Okay, and then the last step, it says to apply liner and lashes to complete the look. So let me come in so y'all can see what this looks like right now. So I'm just gonna clean up the edge of that green wing, and then I'm gonna finish the rest of my face, add some liner, and come back and give you guys my final thoughts.
Forget your feelings, show me you want it. You've been a fan, ain't no more talking. Need you to back it up. Back it up. Oh, you been feeling, body been calling. You know this good shit, you been on it. I need you to back it up. Yeah, back it up.
Okay, so this is the final look. Before I give you guys my final thoughts, let me just tell you what else is on my face. All of this will be in the description box below as well. I am wearing the Pat McGrath foundation. I mixed two shades together, MD23, MD26. My shade is somewhere in the middle. I'm also wearing and testing out the new Danessa Myricks Balm Powder. I have on the House Labs Casa Gaga highlighter, as well as a mixture of these two blushes from House Labs and the One Size bronzer. This is in the shade Dark, so I'm just wearing this top one here. And finally, for my lips, I am wearing the Fenty Mademoiselle lipstick in Velvet Fury. It's this purple lip. I topped that with the Pat McGrath gloss in Astral Flash Dance. And I'm also wearing a Colourpop liner in the shade Leather. Lip liner. And that's it for the products that I'm wearing on my face. Now let's talk about this palette. So, the Clionadh Dragonfruit palette, I don't know. I feel like this might be an unpopular opinion, but the truth is, I don't think I'm impressed. And here's the thing, this is the first time that I'm trying the Clionadh formula. I have never tried anything from the brand before. I've been really interested in trying the brand. I really wanted to get their stained glass like eyeshadows for a very, very long time. So I've never tried anything from the brand. So the fact that I was able to get a ton of shadows in a palette form at a reasonable price, that sold me to begin with. But overall, while I think that this is a very, very pretty look, and I think that the eyeshadows performed well, I don't know if I am blown away or if I think that it was anything special. Jeez, y'all about to cancel me. Here's the thing. These eyeshadows are soft. Very, very soft. I felt like every time I dipped my brush into it, everything was kind of crumbly and falling apart. And I was just like, well, why is this eyeshadow falling to pieces? I don't know. That really bothered me to begin with. I thought that the shimmers were cute. The multi-chromes were okay. The ones that I used at least. And the satin shades were alright too. Like, there was nothing that I put on my eye and I felt like, whoa, damn. And what I will say is that I did not like this look when I was creating it until like while I was doing the rest of my face and the shadow really settled, which I think is something that happens when I do my eyes with Pat McGrath palettes as well. You know, when you use her special shades, I feel like you have to apply them to the lid and then let them settle and wait like a couple of minutes and then you really see the beauty of it. Do I like the way my eyes turn out now that everything's blended and everything is settled? Yes, absolutely love it. I think that this is stunning. I will not take that away from this palette at all. Like, the quality is there, the performance is there, the look I really, really enjoy. But I don't think that I was blown away. Will I buy from Clionadh again? Yeah, 100%. I think that I want to try her more special shades. I do think that we did not necessarily get the best of the best that Clionadh has to offer in this palette because of the price. I think, which makes sense, right? If you're going to give us a palette that costs $50 something and your singles typically range from 12, 15, even up to 25, I believe, per single, I didn't expect to get the best of the best. So I thought that I expected that we would get some of the lesser popular shades from the brand. But when I look at this palette and I look at this color story and I think about, am I going to get the use out of this that would make sense for me to spend $70 something on this palette? And I'm counting the cost of the palette plus shipping. The answer is no. More than half of this palette is pink. These shades are pink, these shades are pink. Then we have 2 purple shades, 2 green shades, and then we have some orange peachy shades here. These shades are too similar, in my opinion. Yes, they're different. But are they different enough? Honestly, I don't think so. I feel like this is not going to be a palette that I reach for very often. And if I do, I might reach for 1 shade out of this palette. And then we got 2 multi-chromes that were meh at best. At least that's how I would describe them. And yeah. And could we talk a little bit about this squeaky? That is gonna drive me nuts. I thought that it was just bad to the brows palette that was gonna be squeaky, but that is annoying. I'm like, could I add some grease or something to help this out? Anyways, I'm not gonna sit here and bad talk the palette. At the end of the day, the quality is here. It's really up to you to decide whether or not that this color story appeals to you, whether or not this is something that it's worth spending your money on. Would you prefer to buy a palette that has shades where you may not use all of it versus purchasing singles from the brand that you know that you want to use? It's kind of up to you. For me, I think that this is a good intro to the brand because I really wanted to test out the shadows. I wanted to see what the hype was, but I don't think that it was necessarily the best intro to the brand because we're not getting the best of the best shades or the best of the best quality from the brand, in my opinion. So I feel meh. I don't feel like I hate it. I don't feel like I love it. I'm just kind of like, all right, cool beans. Next, I guess. I feel like this just tells me that I need to save my money, buy the stained glass collection because that is what I want from the brand. That is what I've always wanted from the brand rather than trying to like get a feel from it with this palette. So that's it. If you liked this video, I would absolutely love if you would consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't already done so. Go ahead and hit that like button if you thought this was helpful. And leave a comment down below letting me know if you are planning to pick up this palette from the brand. Also leave a comment letting me know like what do you buy from Clionadh? Have you purchased from Clionadh before? What are your recommendations for someone like me who is new to the brand, doesn't really have anything from the brand, and wants to be really strategic with my purchases because like I said, those eyeshadows are not cheap. And if I want to dive into the single eyeshadows, I want to make sure that I'm buying the best of the best or the ones that it makes sense to buy. And yeah, that's it. So like I said, like, comment, share, you know the drill, subscribe. As always, I love you guys. Thank you so very much for watching and for hanging with me. And I will catch you in my next one. Bye.